Hi, this is Eris with for our youth booth, where I'm going to be explaining the Dungeons and Dragons classes and have everyone in the class explain which ones they would be and why. First of all, I'm going to go over them as a baseline. So first we have artificers. They're mechanical geniuses and they're generally inventors. And then we have barbarians. They're generally tanks. They don't wear armor, but they're like very tanky. And they can go into rages and deal more damage. Bards, they generally are performers, such as musicians or poets. They inspire the party, which will allow them to do better on their roles. Clerics, they're generally spellcasters, and they're loyal to their god. Most often, they're used as healers. Druids, they're generally one with nature and stuff. And their most notable thing is they can wild shape or shapeshift into different animals. Fighter, they are generally a martial class, so they use like melee weapons, can attack a lot of times per turn, generally higher levels can 5, 6, 7 times per turn. Monks, they're very fast and agile. They use chi a lot and are more like melee based. Paladins, it's kind of a combination of cleric and barbarian, in which they have spellcasters and they have a deity, but they're also more tied to tanks. Ranger, they're very well rounded and can pretty much do anything, and they most generally have an animal companion, like a wolf or a dog. Rogues, they're very sneaky. They're very weak though. So they're built around sneak attacks where they can do loads of damage per turn. And then we have the 3 spellcasters, the sorcerer, who they gain their power through like their bloodline, like they're related to a god. Warlocks, through a sacrifice to their deity, where they gain more power at the price of their humanity. And wizards, who gain their power through knowledge and research. I, personally, love paladins. I'm biased because I've banned my own subclass for one, and I just really like him. We're going to go around in a circle.
So I have a question. Can you clarify what you mean for ranger, for well-rounded? Do you mean in fighting skills? Do you mean in like knowledge skills? What kind do you mean?
Yeah, generally like a bunch of aspects in D&D, like the means of like role playing and combat. But like in combat, you can be a melee combat, or you can be more like range with like a bow and arrow. It can be magic. So they're generally pretty good at everything. And then when they're exploring, they can be able to checks. For example, like you'd roll like a d20, and the higher the roll you get, the more info you would have. And so they generally have pretty good checks, and they're generally like very good at like almost everything.
Okay, I maybe would be a mixture between a wizard and a ranger then, because I like doing all sorts of things, and I like knowing things. I like learning. Yeah, so.
I'd say I'd probably be a bard, which is most likely because I usually play as a bard, but I also tend to have I identify with the performance aspect more than I tend to try to entertain people to form bonds.
I could understand that, entertaining people to form bonds. I feel like I'd be a mix of a bard and a rogue, because sometimes I'm really like, I want to be in it and I want to be like sneaky and in the battle, but at the same time there are also times I don't, and I just want to sit out and like watch. As well as I think rogues are really cool, even though they can't do much. I think they're very fun to play as.
I would definitely have to be a ranger, because I want a little animal companion and I want it to be my little best friend. It would probably be like my dog already, but I'd be able to talk to her, and that would be the best part, is we can like communicate with each other, because she's my best friend and I love her so much. She's also my child, so.
I think I would probably be a bard. I really like writing. I'm pretty creative, and I'm a really good friend, and some of those qualities kind of align with a bard. It's being like a good friend is really important to me, and so.
I have been told by multiple people that I would probably be a wizard. I feel like I'd be a wizard as well, just because every character I've played has been a wizard. I'm not entirely sure why I'd be a wizard. I'm not that smart, but I think just being a wizard would be cool.
I'd say I'd probably fit in with the like rogue category, just because I think, I don't know, the ideas of just being more like sneaky and less direct are just kind of appealing to me.
I'd probably go with maybe a fighter, because I just like that idea of, being in the thick of it and fighting for what I believe in. and winning.
I would also be a wizard because they start out wimpy and then they learn stuff and get stronger. And I started out as a baby and now I can do lots of things, so I identify with that.
I'd be a ranger because I like animals.
I struggle to say that I would be a barbarian because that just generally doesn't sound that great, but I think I would be a barbarian because I think most of like my communication with people comes in like large rants and like I can get mad pretty easily, so that seems like a barbaric thing.
I'm going to say part bard because of what everyone else said about like I'm more of an entertainer than a fighter. I'm a Leo, so I like to be in the center of attention sometimes. And then part, I don't know, I want to say artificer. I'm no genius, but I do appreciate the technical things in life and kind of like figuring out how things work. So bard, artificer.
That was our youth spin, and I'm honestly very surprised that there are going to be a lot more druids. But that is it for today, and we will... Oh, yeah, I did tally them. So we had 1 full barbarian, 2 full bards, a full fighter, a full paladin, 2 full rangers, a full rogue, and 2 full wizards. But we did have multiple subclasses, or not subclasses, multi-classes. 1 into artificer, 2 into bard, 1 into ranger, 1 into rogue, and 1 into wizard. Which I think put the bard in the lead. I think that'll be it for today. We will see you next time.